Okay, are we live? Okay, here we go. Welcome everyone to my Friday forecast. All right, so this week I did something really fun where I let everyone vote in the group. So thank you for those of you who voted. And the winning topic for the forecast today was the 3 ways to upgrade your frequency. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And before I do that, I just want to say, to just touch on a little bit of the energies that are happening right now. October feels like it's going to be a very intense month energetically, just because there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of energy moving. There's a lot of what it feels like to me is like stuff being drudged up, right? Like kind of looks like as I tune into the energy of it, the image that I get is kind of like a tidal wave of energy drudging stuff up from underneath the surface. So yeah, there's going to be a lot moving and a lot shifting, and the best thing that you can do is to work with your own energy to create the reality that you want to experience, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about today, and it's perfect because I've been thinking about this so much, and I actually have an event coming up on Monday, not this Monday, the following Monday, the 17th, called the Quantum Codes, where I'm going to go very deep into how to work with your own energy so that you can create the reality that you want to experience and have complete agency over your regular experience and interaction with reality, and manifest with ease, of course. So really getting into this idea of understanding that you literally create everything you experience with your energy. And I'm going to activate that coding for you on Monday the 17th at the Quantum Codes. So I'll talk about that a little bit more before I complete. And I'll also leave the link down here to sign up. If you sign up before Tuesday, it's $97. And after that, it's $197. So it's definitely something you want to jump on. I love these one night event transmissions that I do. They're always so incredibly powerful and so life changing. And I usually don't know exactly what I'm going to be saying until right before. And then I just kind of channel everything and it comes through right before. So they're really great, really profound always, and very energy shifting for everybody who's there. So anyway, this is kind of going to be like a snack, and that is going to be the main course, right? Because today I really want to talk about upgrading your frequency, working with your energy, and how we can really powerfully do that to start living in less of a way where things are happening to you and more in the way where you are creating everything that's happening and you are potently and powerfully harnessing your energy to do that. So the 3 ways to upgrade your frequency are breath work, energy work, and intention is what came through really strongly today. So the first one I'm going to talk about obviously is breath work, which everyone knows if you've been following me for a long time. That is at the crux of everything I do. And the reason why is because when you use the tool of the breath, you get a ton of momentum in your life and things really start to shift and change. Not only are you connecting in with the quantum field and connecting into that field of limitless possibilities so that you actually start to experience limitless possibilities, but you are also moving energy and allowing yourself to process suppressed emotional energy that you've been carrying around for a long time that can lead to anxiety, that can lead to depression, that can lead to pain, that can lead to blocks. You are allowing that to move through and release and integrate so that you can then change your perspective and start to experience your reality completely differently. You also are gaining access to the subconscious mind. So those unconscious beliefs that are kind of driving the bus that are creating the results that you're experiencing in your reality without you even knowing it, you will start to become aware of what those beliefs are, what those thoughts are, so that you can switch out of them, so that you can make a new decision. But unless we use the breath, those thoughts and beliefs are living in the subconscious, and we might not ever become aware of them unless we have access to the subconscious mind. So that's what the tool of the breath gives us. And then it also gives you access to your higher self, your guides, your connection to spirit, your inherent creativity, right? For me, a lot of what I experience now when I do breath work is just a ton of ideas, a ton of inspiration, a ton of creative energy where I'm just like, oh, I'm going to do this next, and I'm going to do this next, and I'm going to do this and that. And I get all of these ideas. So it also kind of gives you direct access to that creative energy, because essentially you are the creator, and it connects you in very deeply with that source energy so that you have so much clarity about what is next for you. And I know that that can be something that a lot of people struggle with, is like, I don't have clarity. I don't know what to do next. I don't know which way to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I actually don't believe any of that is true when people say that. I think it's just a matter of A, allowing yourself to connect with that energy, and B, trusting it, and then C, getting the other stuff out of the way. Because a lot of times when you say, I am confused, or I'm being indecisive, really what you're saying is, I actually know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm afraid, or I'm afraid to move forward in general. And there's usually a lot more underneath of that, whether it's childhood trauma, whether it is patterns of people pleasing, or patterns of feeling responsible for other people. I had a client yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever that we cleared that for her, because she was saying, oh, I just don't know where to go next in my business. I'm feeling really indecisive about what I should do next. And I was like, well, that's not the issue. And we got to the issue underneath of it, which was, she was feeling so responsible for everybody else that she literally had no energy to move forward in her business at all. So once we cleared that energy, this morning she texted me that she got a new private client, right? So that's the kind of stuff that happens all the time when we make those little energetic shifts, from operating from wounding, the old paradigm, the old system, what you learned in childhood, the coping mechanisms that you took on to deal with your situation. When we stop operating from that place and start operating from alignment and from what we're really meant to be doing, then things just start working, right? So that was a little bit of a tangent, but that's the power of the breath. And then, so energy work. So essentially everything is energy work, right? And you are always doing energy work, actually, but you probably aren't conscious of it. But your consciousness, your energy that you put out, affects 100% what your experience is, right? So once we can start really potently and powerfully working with our own energy to affect our experience, then everything starts to change. And you can literally do this anywhere and everywhere. And this is something I've been going really deep into with the women in the Metamorphosis Method, my certification program, because I'm teaching them how to do energy work, and really just this deeper understanding that what energy work truly is it's you claiming your sovereignty. Because your sovereignty is essentially you saying, I have agency, I have control over what I experience in my reality. And when you're in a situation that doesn't feel good to you, you actually have the power to change the energy with your energy. And when you do that, what you experience starts to change, right? So what energy work is really about is you using your own energy to affect the reality that you're experiencing. And then that brings me into the last thing, which is intention. And your intention, your attention, where you're putting your focus, where you're putting your consciousness, is absolutely everything. So if you are intentional with everything that you're doing, then you're literally like putting a focus point on your reality. You're saying, this is what I want to experience. This is what I intend to experience, what I know I'm going to experience. And then you start to experience it, right? So, and I do this with everything. Every live I get on, every class I teach, every call I get on, I always say, this is going to turn out better than I can imagine. Or if I'm like trying to call something in or manifest something, I will always say, this is going to come through or something better, right? So I'm putting this energy, this attention, this intention on it so that what I receive back, I'm being really intentional about, right? And I was talking about affirmations with the women in the Metamorphosis Method also the other day. And we were talking about how to create really good affirmations. And again, I have a lot of thoughts about affirmations. I don't think that using affirmations alone is really going to get you anywhere. But when you do breath work, when you do the energy work, when you do the trauma healing, you're doing all of these things, then adding affirmations in is a really powerful tool, because that's how we change what we're experiencing, right? That's how we change the nature of our reality. Is like, okay, well, I'm noticing that this is happening and I'm playing out this pattern in my life, and I'm going to consciously choose out of that. I'm going to shift that. And when I do, here's what I want to experience, right? And that's where the affirmation comes in. It's like, okay, this is my new reality. This is my new story. This is my new experience. And that's what the affirmation does. So this piece about intention is exactly that, where you're saying, this is what I want to experience. Everything always works out better than I can imagine. This is what I want to experience, right? I am a successful, wealthy business owner, right? Whatever it is, you say that over and over again, along with doing the deeper work and doing the deeper clearing and doing the breath work and doing the energy work. And then things start to shift. And that's happened to me all the time. I always share this practice with my clients where right before I go to bed, I say this affirmation to myself over and over again. And then if I wake up in the middle of the night, I say it again. And then when I wake up in the morning, I say it again. And that, coupled with the deeper work, always creates the outcome. Always, always, always. It's happened to me now for the last 2 years where I say, this is what I'm creating, this is what I'm doing. And it always happens because you're setting that energy, that intention. It's like spell casting, right? And there's a reason why spelling, like spelling words, is called spelling, because with your words, you are literally casting a spell, right? And of course, there's more to it than just saying something, right? But if you're doing the deeper energy work and you're doing the deeper work to dismantle your old patterns and to look at where you are playing out thoughts of lack, limitation, scarcity, or thinking that you're not good enough or not worthy, if you're doing all that work and looking at that stuff and clearing it out, then the affirmation piece, the intention piece, is so powerful, because you're literally casting a spell. You're creating a new energy with your words. So being able to set that intention is so incredibly powerful. And we were talking about affirmations last week. Because you really want to be so intentional with your words and even your thoughts, right? And I'm very intentional with how I say things, even to myself, right? Like I would never say, oh, I can't afford that right now, because that's just not the energy I would ever want to put out into the universe, that I can't afford something. Maybe I would say, that's not a priority for me right now, right? Do you see the difference in the way that the energy is around those words? Because words carry an energy. So always being super intentional with the things that you say and how you say them, how you're talking about yourself, how you're talking to yourself. Because again, this is a whole nother topic that I always say, we treat ourselves the way our parents treated us until we get conscious and change it. So, or we treat ourselves the way our parents treated themselves, right? So, constant judgment, shame, fear, all of that stuff, we project that onto ourselves, actually, within our inner landscape, within our inner dialogue, until we get really clear and change it. So this is huge in raising your frequency, because the way that you treat yourself has a huge impact on the frequency that you're going to hold and your magnetism. If you are treating yourself lovingly, if you're talking to yourself in a loving way, if you feel appreciative of yourself, if you acknowledge yourself, if you celebrate yourself, if you talk to yourself in the way that you wish you would have been talked to as a child. This is something I've been sharing with a lot of people that I've been doing that I think really works, is all of those places when you were a child that you didn't feel like you had acknowledgement, that you wished someone would have said to you. Start talking to yourself like that. Start saying those things to yourself. And it feels weird at first and it feels kind of like contrived, but then it actually starts to feel normal and it actually starts to feel good. And then what happens is it starts to change your energy. And then all of a sudden, things start shifting for you, things start working, the right people start showing up, the right opportunities start showing up, things really start to shift because you are now living in that frequency of celebration, acknowledgement, love, um, and honoring of who you truly are instead of always looking for the things that you have to change or fix or criticizing or judging yourself, which is something that we're kind of like taught to do and kind of indoctrinated to do. But all of that lowers your frequency. So those are my three things that are really important. Like I said, I'm going to be going much deeper into this on Monday, the 17th at the Quantum Codes event. I'm going to be explaining this more, but also activating this energy within you so that it feels much easier for you and natural for you to really start working with your energy in this way where you're able to potently use your energy to create the reality that you want to create, to manifest with ease, and to also start having things just start to show up for you in a way that you didn't think was possible before. So that's what we're going to be doing at that event. It's a 60-minute event. Like I said, it's only $97 if you sign up before Tuesday. And everyone who comes will also receive a special opportunity to come into my world that no one else is going to receive if you're not at that event. So it's a really great opportunity if you've been interested in my energy work to see how it affects you. This is the perfect thing to sign up for because you will get that experience, and this is going to be a really powerful event. I'm super excited to share it with you. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Any other announcements? We still have 1 or 2 spaces open for Accelerated Wealth and Mastermind. We start on Tuesday. That is my high-level program to help you grow your business and your income and release all of the blocks and remove all of the blocks to doing that. It's all of the stuff that I use to create high 5-figure months and now 6-figure months. So I'm going to be sharing all of that. It is the only program that I'm teaching that I teach live breathwork in, which is incredibly powerful. You're also going to receive movement medicine with Dahlia, which is incredibly important. It's all about the embodiment piece to really start to be able to receive and hold more. So reach out to me if you have questions about that. And I'm sending you so much love. Have an amazing weekend, and I will talk to you soon.